A very warm welcome to one and all as you join us for another launch of, well, always brilliant one-day specials, but we have an extra special one for you this evening. If you are like me, remembering a TV programme between 1984 to 1995, around there actually, lots and lots and lots of happy trees were painted. And beautiful fluffy clouds, and all little happy accidents sometimes were made, and all done by the brush and palette knife actually of one fantastic artist that went by the name of Bob Ross. And we are absolutely delighted to have in the studio not the man himself, the next best thing that we have, because unfortunately he passed away back in '95, but his legend really does live on. It's such brilliant to be here in the studio with, as you've just been looking at as well, original paintings, original artwork by Bob himself that are with us here in the studio. So it's a real delight and a pleasure and a privilege actually to bring Doug Hallgren with us here on the show and say a very, very warm welcome to you on behalf of everyone here at the craft store. Lovely to meet you.
Hi Scott, nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you, honestly. You are, I mean, when we want to, let's say we're the next best thing to sort of, we haven't got the man here himself, but you yourself, are so connected now to really the name that sort of goes on and all the sort of traits that he is part of and that we know him for, really. If you think back of all the programmes that we've all sat and watched and listened to, his calming dulcet tones, etc. Just to introduce yourself to our viewers, and I know we have a lot of new viewers as well that are watching from all over with us, so wherever you're watching with us, a very, very warm welcome to us. Just a little bit about yourself, Doug, and how you're connected to this name.
Hi, I'm Doug Hallgren, and I'm a Bob Ross certified instructor. I've been teaching since 2003, and for about 12 years I taught the teacher training program for to certify the Bob Ross instructors. But I've been taught thousands of people over several years, and it's a technique. It's step by step. We always welcome newcomers. We always welcome first-timers. In fact, that's what we're designed for. That's what Bob wanted to appeal to, and so that's what we teach. And I'll be teaching Scott today to do a painting that Bob did in the basic set. The instructions are in that basic set, and you can follow along if you buy one. But it's a real simple, easy painting, and I think we'll have a good time of it.
I definitely hope we can have a good time of it, because it is fantastic. And if you know and been watching with us on the craft store before, to have a little go and rolling your sleeves up is going to be fantastic. So I'm slightly nervous about that as well. I mean, but I know that if you're teaching teachers on this, then I'm in very safe hands, which was absolutely brilliant as well. Now, just to give you the details of what you get a chance of owning for a course, which are our one-day special, and it's already very busy indeed that you can see here, which is absolutely brilliant, this that you're looking at. 345684 is your item code that you're looking at here, and you are going to be getting 5 of your fantastic paints to be working with. Each one of those are 37mm. You're also going to be getting 100ml of the white oil paint, and we'll come on to why these are important soon. You also get your palette knife in there, the brush, and also going to be getting your thinner, 125ml of that. Now, the great thing about this is this whole package is not seen anywhere else actually. It's really sort of an exclusive with us here on the craft store to see the details that you are getting within this one-day special. Now, and the lovely thing is, of course, it's also available on a flexi-buy, which means that you can actually get this, if you would like, on 2 payments of just £19.95. 345684. Now, you may be thinking of someone in your household that has already shown a bit of a penchant for their artwork and their paintings, for example. Maybe it's a Christmas present, or maybe you're thinking about them for a birthday present, because I mentioned birthday present because today's a very special day, actually, isn't it?
It's Bob Ross's birthday. He would have been 79 today.
79 today. I mean, it's fantastic, really, to think that his name has gone on. And from watching the sort of the videos of some of his, work that he did, you can't help but just be quite chilled and relaxed, and I'm sure that is the reason why he went into it in the first place, wasn't it, actually, regarding sort of just after the army days?
Oh yeah, he had a military background,
yeah.
and hated yelling at people, and so this was a calm, soothing thing he could do. But he did over 403 shows, so there's a lot of Bob to do and a lot of Bob to watch.
A lot of Bob to watch. Well, look, I just want to mention here what we're going to be doing as well as a free gift with purchase also, because I know that you want to get going because we've got less than an hour to do what we've set out to try and do. But free with purchase, if you're making a purchase with us in this hour, then you'll be getting the brush conditioner as well. Now, this is worth $7.95 actually on its own, but this is whilst stocks last. Doug, can I just ask why we'll be using this as well? Why are we giving this?
The Bob Ross Brush Cleaner Conditioner is important to keep your Bob Ross brushes conditioned after you clean them with the Bob Ross odorless thinner. You don't need much of it. You can work a little in with the paper towel and they'll stay good for years.
Oh, right. Okay. So I could have done with that in my hair. Right. So you're going to get that free with purchase, of course, while stocks last. So make sure you get in nice and early and get those checked in and checked out of your basket as well. Right then. Okay. It's a moment of truth then. So take it easy with me. What's the first? I think we've already started one of the first pints. Is that right?
So what I've done is I put a thin, even coat of liquid white on here, and there's a small section down here, you'll see the canvas is slightly gray.
Yeah.
And the liquid white actually covers that. But thin, even coat, and that comes in the basic set in a little bottle like this.
Okay.
And so just to save time, I've gone ahead and put it on the canvas, and you can really scrub it around. You just want a real thin, easy, light coat. And a way to test it is you just look at your finger, and if you can still see your fingerprint, yet it's white, it's perfect amount. And then you can just wipe your finger off there on a paper towel.
I'll do that, I'll copy,
So we'll jump right into the painting if you're ready. Are you ready?
Should we let people know what we're going to be copying and what we're going to be working from? It's the one that's going to be coming up on your screen right there. So, yes, we are going to be having a go at this. Yes, I'm going to be joining in having a go at trying to do this as well. But if you've seen us on the shows before, you know anything is possible within an hour, actually. In fact, Bob only had half an hour, didn't he?
27 minutes.
27 minutes,
27
right.
minutes.
So we could do this. You can, anyway. So what's the first thing we're doing then? What we start?
So I've got my palette loaded with the colors that come in the basic set. I've got titanium white, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, sap green, and cad yellow.
Okay.
And we usually start with the sky.
Okay.
And if you're ready, I'll get going.
Yeah, you do.
All right, so all I'm going to do is load my brush. This is the Bob Ross 1-inch landscape brush with a little bit of this cad yellow, tiny amount. You can always put on more, but you can't take it off, so you just want a small amount. I pull both sides of the brush through, give it a little tap, and we've got a nice glow in the sky here, about center canvas. And I'm using a crisscross stroke. I'm holding the brush like a pencil.
Okay.
And making X's or figure eights or an infinity symbol. And what that does is it applies the color and blends and softens at the same time. Now, because I have this liquid white on here, it's mixing with that cad yellow and it goes pastel.
Right, okay, okay.
So just a little bit of color in there.
Now, I'm going to be watching them out, or do you want me to have a little go at this bit, or am I catching up later
Go
on?
for it.
Right.
I have your palette ready for you right here.
I just see that there, thank you.
Here's your 1-inch brush.
Okay.
You want to grab a little of that cad yellow and go for it. And you can see exactly where I put it, so just try to copy.
I'll try and do my best.
Remember, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
Right, okay, let's have a little go. So you're doing a crisscross?
Yes.
Okay, a little crisscross. Okay, and it actually does go on fairly easy, doesn't it?
And that's the liquid white, because it's a thin down titanium white that allows you to move and blend color as you go. This is a wet on wet technique, so that we do wet layer on top of wet layer on top of wet layer, and Bob's paintings are all meant to be done in one session.
Right, okay, okay. I feel I've got a bit brighter than you at the moment, but you know.
We're all individual artists, and that's a good thing.
That's happy accident number one.
Bob always says it's your world, and that's certainly true.
Yeah. Oh, it's fascinating to sort of read about it as well, because he didn't actually ever put any people in his pictures, as much as I can sort of work.
There were a couple that he did. He did a cowboy one,
I heard,
and a little walking couple that you only saw the back of, real teeny tiny, on a path going into a forest.
Great. Right, okay. I'm okay there? Is that
You're
okay?
perfect.
Great, perfect.
So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab a alizarin crimson. I only need a small amount of this.
Okay.
In fact, if you think you've picked too much up, you can always just reach down and touch a paper towel just to get off excess color. Like I said, you can always add more. You've probably got the right amount.
Okay.
Now, around this yellow glow, there's a pink. And so I'm using that crisscross stroke to go around this, make sort of a pink halo around that.
Right, okay.
If you go down into the yellow area a little bit, it'll mix with the yellow and you'll get a peachy color, real pretty color in the sky. We're thinking maybe sunrise or sunset here.
Oh, yes.
That's gorgeous. And if you push a little harder on the brush, you can blend out some of those harsher strokes as you do it. See how that works?
Okay,
Perfect.
yeah. It's that thing of being a bit scared sometimes, isn't it? Especially with the canvas, you're thinking, oh, am I going too much, too heavy? But like you say, you can't take it off when it's on.
But you know, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents, and you learn from those things that you do, and the next time you do a painting, you'll do it better.
This is good. Let's hope it's the second time.
I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that alizarin crimson, and we've got a pond down here, and I want to go from side to side. Water usually lies flat, so I'm just going from side to side all the way across the canvas, all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
You can pick up a little more color. Like I said, it's your world, or as much color as you want.
I like a bit of color.
Who doesn't? That's why we paint, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Can't be afraid of color.
No, I'm liking that. Oh, okay, yeah, a bit higher than that.
Side to side, it's okay. Push real hard, that'll blend it softly.
Okay.
And try to get it as level as you can. It's water, we don't want water to go uphill, but you're still good.
Okay. I'm always being told by the director, stand to the right, stand to the right. So it's not as easy as what Bob makes it look.
Yeah, it's funny when I teach and paint, I'm always standing off to the side, and a lot of times when I'm finished, I get in front of it and everything's kind of going off to the right, but just something that happens. Now, one thing I do want you to do, because we're going into a little bit of a lavender color next, and I don't want to mix yellow and blue together, or we'll have a green sky.
Okay. Oh, right,
That's maybe not a happy accident. So all I want you to do is just rub your brush on this paper towel pretty good. Little circles on there. I don't always have to go into the paint thinner there. Whoops.
Oh, the paper's gone over.
Stuck together there.
There we go.
It's okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up a combination of a little bit of phthalo blue and a little bit of the alizarin crimson, and you'll get a purple, or a lavender, however you like to say it. And in Bob's world, this time it's a little more to the blue. I can see what you've got going there. Maybe a little, no, you're about right. You're about right.
Yeah.
Now start up here in this upper left corner. Little crisscross strokes. I want you to go all the way across the top.
Okay. Is that right? Is that okay?
You're a little more to the red, and that's fine. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. Like I said, there are no mistakes. It all comes out good.
Okay. Yes, I've definitely got the blues mixed in a bit on that one, haven't I?
But you can see both. You can see the blues and the reds, and that's great. Now I'm going to add a little more color. I did just pick up a little bit more here. I always start out a little shy and then add to it. Now I want to crisscross down until I get into that pink area, but I don't want to swallow it all up. I want them to overlap pretty.
Okay.
A nice pretty shape there.
Right. Okay. How's that?
That looks gorgeous. Now I do want to darken my corners a little bit on the upper corners, because if the corners are dark, it'll draw the viewer's eye into the center of the painting. So this is where I make my decision that I want a little more color up there.
Okay.
Just to punch it up and to create that effect that we want.
Right, right. Is that on both sides of the
both
corners?
Sides.
I see, yeah, yeah.
I don't believe you've never done this before.
No, seriously, seriously. There are so many artists on this show, and and I wasn't one of them. I'm their tea boy. Right, but yeah, it's surprising. It does go on very easily in that respect, like you say.
And that's the liquid white.
With the liquid white, yes, yeah.
Now, we are going to have a little pond in this painting, and I want to go ahead and pick up a little bit of that lavender color, and I'm going to pull from the outside in, from left to right.
Oh, okay.
Just small amounts, just kind of an easy pressure, and then I'll pull from the right side in, and I'm leaving a little space here in the middle, which will create a sheen or a shine on the water when it's all done.
So, okay, so you are going right into the centre there as well.
Just real light, easy strokes.
Okay.
Perfect. Great. And it just leaves a little shimmer, little reflection of the sun down in the lake down there or pond. Pull from the outside in this way.
So in that way?
Yes, that way. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. Did it a little bit cock-handed.
That's
a bit,
okay.
You know,
it's your first time.
It is. And the abuse from the gallery, it's amazing. Actually, they'll be very silent. I think they're just as nervous for me. There we go.
No, they're sitting and watching in amazement. Now take that brush and just give it a little wipe off on your paper towel here, and very gently, very gently, I want you to go across, very gentle. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of softening those colors together. That pink spot won't go away completely, but it will soften the edges. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to see. And you can take it all the way up to that pink up there.
I just want to say, by the way, we've got people that are watching with us here in Korea, in Spain as well. We got them from the Philippines and everyone that's watching in the USA as well. I want to say a very warm evening. It's at 6:15 here in the UK, and having my first art lesson. So thanks very much for watching. So it's your first lesson in front of international audience, just out of interest?
It is.
Was it? Great. There we go. That's perfect. Then we're together on that. That's lovely.
I wasn't nervous until you mentioned that.
Oh, okay. So I've just put you in the same boat. There we go.
All right, we're going to put in some little indications of clouds. Now, I've got that same lavender color.
Okay.
I don't need much on there. Once you see what I'm doing here, I think you'll understand why I don't need much paint. All I'm going to do is I'm holding the brush back here on the handle like a pencil, back here on the white part of the handle, and I'm doing a tapping motion. And see how it creates little sort of stringy, shadowy clouds way back there in the distance that come into that little glow in our sky. Really easy little taps, just like that. Just horizontal and tap.
Completely flat onto it.
Yes, exactly. And then I'll probably have some coming in from this side as well. You know, clouds are the freest thing in nature, and they'll make any shape and any size and any color.
Are these the happy clouds?
These are definitely happy clouds. How can you look at these colors and not be happy?
No, do you know what? As much as it is always a first trying to do mine. I've got a bit of red sky at night going on.
No, that's beautiful. See, that's the sun hitting the bottom of those clouds and putting a little bit of.
That's what I was aiming for. That's what I was aiming for. Yeah. But do you know what? But people, because we were talking this about slightly earlier on regarding during lockdown, and during the amount of people that sort of really got into art and really got into this, and actually when you think about taking a bit of time out sometimes and the sort of stress away, then it really is. It's a very kind of at one sort of art form in that respect.
You can get into your own head and just create and do beautiful things on the canvas, and it really does calm you down. It takes you to a different space.
Yes.
It's really fun. That's why I like painting so much. That's gorgeous.
Is that okay?
Yes, and I'm happy with mine, so we can keep going. Are you ready to do a happy mountain?
Yes, I am.
All right,
yes,
cool.
I am.
Well, then what you'll do is you'll put your 1-inch brush down.
Okay.
And we've got this is the small number 5 painting knife that is in the basic set as well.
Okay.
And it's specifically designed with Bob in mind. And if you hold this knife straight up and down, it's already shaped like a mountain peak.
Yeah, oh yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
it's right there in the knife.
Yeah.
Very, very ingenious design. What we do need to do is make a combination of a color. So what you're going to do, I want you to pick up a little bit, and I'm holding this sort of like a spatula.
Okay.
Just flat like that. I scrape into a little bit of that phthalo blue, and I pick up a little bit of that alizarin crimson, and I'm going to mash them together.
Okay.
Mash them and turn.
Mash them and turn.
That's a really technical painting term. Mash and turn.
Mash and turn. Okay. And is that just on one side? Have you got it onto the actual knife, or is that on both?
I pick it up, smash it back down again, and use both sides to mix it.
Oh, that's a right deep colour, that is.
Yeah, it's a deep purple lavender color.
Okay.
Just a dark.
I think
Once you mix that, and that looks pretty good, I just smash it back down so it's on the palette there.
Consider that smashed, Doug.
Smashed down. So here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to create a mountain shape, and in this particular painting, Bob's got 3 mountain peaks. I usually like to start with the tallest mountain peak first. So I hold the knife back here. I just pull down through that paint that I've mixed up, and what you end up with is a small roll on one side.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to hold the knife straight up and down back here on the white part of the handle. I try to avoid getting up on the metal. I try to figure out where's my tallest peak, and I think it's about right here. And if I just pull down to the left, there's a mountain peak. If I pick up a little more of that dark color that we made, and I come over here and I pull down to the left, there's another peak. I reload again. There's a small peak over here to the left, and I just make a little bump right there. And that's the top of our mountain. Now, we've got a few more steps to go through to get this to look like a mountain, but that just gets the overall shape and form right there.
Okay, right.
So you're going to hold it straight up and down. You're going to pull down to the left.
Straight there and down to the left.
Yes. Perfect.
Did I not have enough on?
No, it's plenty. It's plenty for now. Pick up another little roll on there, like I showed you.
Yeah.
Make your second peak.
And this is just down for a bit. Yeah, about
Yep.
there. Is that?
Yeah. That's it. Even better than the first one.
Oh.
And then what I would do is maybe make this one just slightly taller, and that'll give you a chance to put some more paint on there.
This one, go a bit higher.
Because you want it taller than that first one. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. And then you're going to make your third one right there.
Okay. Yeah, just away from it, wasn't it there?
Now to fill that in, if I've just got the same paint you do, and I just come in here and I just make a little movement like that, and that just connects the two together, like so. So we've got 1, 2, 3 mountain peaks.
Love it. I love that. That's great.
This is so easy.
It's that whole thing of sometimes the tool, knowing how to work with whatever tool you've got, isn't it, as well, to get the most out of those tools.
Bob was a master of his tools, but he had 30 years experience with it, right?
Yeah.
But look what you've already done in just one lesson. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just that easy. Lay your knife down.
Okay.
We'll pick up our 1-inch brush again.
Okay.
And I'm going to blend this out to give the mountain shape and form. All I do is I hold the 1-inch brush back here on the handle. I'm going to lay the bristles down, just like that. I'm going to pull down to the right. I got to be careful. I got a little piece of tape here to divide our sections.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going any further than that. And then I'm going to pull down to the left. Look how quick that is.
Okay.
I'm going to pull down to the right and down to the left.
Okay.
One more time. Down to the right, down to the left.
Right.
And there's the body of the mountain.
Brilliant. Love
So
that.
down to the right, down to the left.
And flat on. So down to the right.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
If you hold the brush this way, you can get a little more strength.
Okay.
Just really push on that paint.
Right. Okay. And then same again down straight to this way.
To the left. Yep.
Okay. And then
go to the next peak. Down to the right. And then to the left.
Okay.
And again on the third peak, to the right.
Okay.
You got the rhythm now. See how easy this is?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, I am going to wipe my brush off because we did pick up quite a bit of paint, so I'm just spinning it on a paper towel.
Okay. So you want me to clear this off?
That's my paper towel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. And then.
And we want to sort of just soften the bottom of this. Now, what I'm going to do is take my brush in little crisscross strokes. I'm just softening out these harsh brush strokes at the base.
Okay.
That'll give you a chance to sort of fill in there.
Right.
And it creates a little bit of a hazy look at the bottom of that mountains, which you will see in nature. You're looking through atmosphere, and of course now we have pollution and all sorts of things, but dust, but it's just looking at something in the distance. Also, it creates an illusion because if you look at things in the distance, they're grayed and less detail. So what Bob's doing here is he's creating that illusion of depth and distance with just a few minor brush strokes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Bob didn't get into very artsy terms. He didn't explain things much, but what he did was solid art technique. He doesn't really tell you. He doesn't need to. He's just saying, do this, do it now with this color. Works every time.
Doug, this is fascinating. I'm loving this lesson, so I'm very, very fortunate in that respect. So am I okay just to pause for 1 second and just give everybody a bit of an update of where we are, if that's all right?
Yes.
And we'll come back to that. Thank you very much. Fascinating. So I'm having a lovely time, everybody, with my first art lesson, and what a great way to go through it. And very warm welcome to everyone that is watching with us here at the craft store for the first time, wherever you're watching. By the way, if you do want to get in touch with Doug or us here in the studio, you got any questions for Doug, I'm sure that Doug's
I love them.
More than happy to answer them. Please do get in touch. You get studio@thecraftstore.com and send your messages through and your questions. And obviously, I won't answer them, but Doug will go through them. But we'd love to hear from you. We are at the launch of a brand new one-day special, and we are so delighted. And it's busy, busy, busy for the Bob Ross brilliant basic painting set. Now this set, in the way that it is all put together, is pretty exclusive. You're not going to be finding this because not only are you getting those 537mm paints, you're also getting the 100ml of the white oil paint. And you saw, and I can certainly feel it with the brush as well, how important it is to lay that down onto the canvas to start with. The palette that we've been working with, the palette knife, and you'll be getting the brush also, plus 125ml of the thinner. Now, this is £27, but it's actually available on a flexi buy, which means you can get this in just 2 payments of £19.95. On top of that, but just by making a purchase with us, we have also got for you the brush conditioner that is absolutely free with purchase. Now, that's worth £7.95 also on its own normally, but you're getting that free just by making a purchase in this hour. It is amazing. Now, I just have to say that unfortunately we can't ship to the US, unfortunately, but everywhere else we are free to do so. So don't hate me in the US. I apologise, but that's just the rules that we have as well. It's because of sometimes the flammable nature of some of the elements of that pack that you've got there. Details you want to get in touch with us are on 345684. That's your item code that you need, and that means that you can actually just pop that straight into a basket and check that out. Now, the website, thecraftstore.com, is everything on there. Honestly, you want anything Bob Ross, it's there. We've got 3-hour workshops on there, the DVD floral workshop on there, the wildlife also, which is a 3 DVD collection. That's also a really good one to go for, by the way. You've got your 14 different colours of your paints there for landscape that'll work for that beautifully. We've got a whole collection there as well that you can see all those other additions that are going to be there, including more tools of the trade. Your brushes and your palette knives are also on there. So that's thecraftstore.com. Also, by the way, we've got the canvases. Now, that's really important, obviously. You never saw Bob without one of those working away. So do make sure you add those into your basket and get them sorted. Speaking of basket, I love that you've got the brush beater rack there and everything, because you used to sort of say you got to hit the devil out of it, was it, as well, when you're cleaning the brush?
We'll do that at some point.
Well, yeah, we'll have a go at doing that a little bit. That sounds great. We've got some giftable ideas on there as well. I'm loving it. We've got the mugs, which are brilliant gift ideas if you're thinking about that one, of course. You've got the happy painting mug, and the best one for me is no mistakes mug, of course, just the happy accident. So I'm sure that will be a perfect gift for somebody on there. But it's lovely to have your company wherever you're watching with us. We are doing our paint along with Doug, who is taking us through step by step. And I wanted to say again, Doug, thank you so much for being with us. It's great. And just the sort of the techniques that you're sort of demonstrating for us that are lovely to watch and go. So where do we go next? Or does that mean done? And we'll say, that's it, I've got that far.
It looks great already.
I just saw it on the camera there and I thought, yeah, I'm very pleased with that. That's lovely. Yeah, great. I'm down to the tutor though. So where do we go next then, Doug?
Lay down your 1-inch brush. You're going to pick up your knife.
Okay.
We're going to put highlights and shadows on this mountain, and let's start with the highlights first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife, and if you've got any paint left on it, just wipe it off.
Okay.
I'm going to cut through a little bit of this titanium white, like we did with the darker colors earlier. Remember that? Just kind of pull that blade right through there. You'll end up with a little roll of paint on that one side of the knife.
Oh, I've got too much on there.
It's okay, just reposition it.
Okay.
It's all right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this knife straight up and down. And as I said before, the shape of that knife is shaped like that peak. So if I just put the point of that knife right there on the point of that mountain, now I want absolutely no pressure on this knife. In fact, I'm holding it with just a couple of fingers. And I kind of jiggle, and I go down the ridge of that mountain, and I've got snow, just that easy.
Oh, okay. Right, so it's again just pointing us up there, following at the contours?
Right. Just follow the shape you have there. That's beautiful. That's perfect. That's ideal. Okay. I'm going to come right up next to it and put a little bit more snow there, just to fill it in a bit. Get a little bit lower. Yep, following that same, but very gently, just like you're touching someone's cheek.
Oh,
not buttering toast.
No, I think that's where I was going there for a second. Yes.
That's good, leave it. You don't want to overwork it. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little more of that titanium white. I'll come up to this tallest peak and repeat that same procedure, just going down to the right. Now, In fact, I'm holding this knife so light, I've only got 2 fingers on it. Just like so. And the more you do that, the lighter you do it, the more breaking in the paint, the more it looks like stones on your mountain and shadows in the snow.
I seem to have quite a lot on my palette knife there.
Bob used quite a bit of paint. If you watch what he's doing, he's got a lot. He just knew what to do with it.
Okay.
That's a great start. I'm really encouraged here. I'm going to come over to this little peak over here on the left, and I don't want to go all the way down with it. I just want a little bit sitting right up there at the top. Maybe it's a little glacier there or something.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to do light. Oh, it's not on that bit there. There we go.
But that's the thing of it. When you're painting at home on your own, you can take as much time. You don't have to hurry like we're doing.
That's it. That's the reason. It's because I'm up against the clock, you see.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more highlight right here in this zone on that tallest peak, just to fill in a little bit more. Yes. Wonderful. Now, ooh, it's perfect right there.
That's what I thought.
That's Bob Ross right there.
Was it?
Yep. You've had
Did you catch that,
you've had
everybody?
your Bob Ross
A
moment.
little bit of Bob Ross. I know, without the hair, you were surprised, weren't you? But yes.
So let's do a little color mixing. We're going to make a shadow color. I want you to pick up a little bit of that titanium white.
Right, okay.
Yep. Plop it down somewhere on your palette there.
So the white I'm picking up? Yep.
Yes. Now you're using the Bob Ross disposable palette, which is another Bob Ross product that we use for the floral and the wildlife techniques.
Oh, okay.
But that is a for sale item through the Bob Ross company and through your
Yeah, be on the site, be on the website, absolutely.
Yes. So I've got the white. I want to pick up now. If I just take this, just the point of that knife and pick up a tiny little speck of that phthalo blue, it's a very powerful color. Mix it into that white. I'll end up with a baby blue, sort of a sky blue. Love this color.
That's a nice color.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's going to be my shadow color. Now shadows are going to be pulled to the left. We were pulling the knife to the right last time. We're going to pull to the left. So here we go. I'm going to get a small little roll on my knife. I'll start over here. Got a little too much on there. Just want to be careful. And I'm going to start over here on this leftmost peak, and I'm going to pull down, down, down to the left. That'll create a little bit of a shadow there on that left side. So the sun's coming from the right, casting a shadow on the left.
Okay.
You can sneak it in right in this little area and down.
Okay, and up there.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not get enough on?
You don't want a lot. You want this to remain sort of dark and not much detail in it. That's the shadow side. I'll pick up another roll of that, come right up here to my tallest peak, and I'm going to sneak that in that little dark wedge that you see there.
Oh, cheeky.
And I'll even let it run right over here. And what that does is magically pushes that little peak back behind the tallest one.
Okay, so.
Now you've got it. And just keep going to the left with it. That is the idea, definitely.
Okay.
Great. So now we've got this little peak on the right, and it doesn't take much. I've got a real small roll on there, and I'm just going to fill in this little wedge by pulling to the left, and I'll stop when I get to the snow on that tallest peak. So we've got this little cast shadow right here. That's it, right in that little wedge there. And you can take a little down lower, pull to the left.
To the left.
To the left, Yeah. Oop.
Oh, I've got a bit of the white on.
You know what though? This is the great thing about wet on wet painting. That paint is wet, and if I want to fix it, I just zip it right off of there and put it back in again.
Saved a happy accident there for a second.
There are no mistakes,
No.
only happy accidents. That's it. Now you got it. Yep.
Oh, we've had a question come through, by the way, from Heather. Very good evening, Heather, as well. Heather says she's absolutely loving the show and the paintings as well. She can't wait to have a go as well. Now, she has ordered the one-day special as well. But she's asking about can she advise us on which canvas to go for? What would be, it sounds like maybe a first timer going for this and doing this. Which sort of size, which canvas would you suggest to go for, Doug, as a first time with that?
For your first time, smaller's better. Maybe just a small canvas this size. You don't have to go full on 18 by 24 Bob. That's in inches. That's in what we use in the US.
Okay.
But smaller's better. This is a pre-primed, double-primed stretched canvas on boards. And the priming is important because it won't absorb the liquid white.
Right.
So the Bob Ross branded canvas are perfect for that. Plus they're very, very tightly stretched, which is important. And they also have a slight gray to the priming, so when you're putting the liquid white on, you can see where you're putting it and where you need a little bit more.
Okay.
So they're specifically designed for this.
Right, so if you'd like to go, brilliant question, thank you so much indeed. The one that Doug is using at the moment is the 45 by 60. Now that's got a £4 saving on there right now, so that's 934149. With that is down to £14.95. Now, so Doug is suggesting the smaller size if you're having to go for this first time. Now that's 24 by 32. Now that's actually under £10. That's $9.95, 24 by 32 centimetres. Now these are the primed cotton canvas that you're getting here, and these are the Bob Ross that you are looking at. 400-133, 400-133. Now we do have other sizes. They're all there on the website for yourself to work from if you wanted to. Just have to visit thecraftstore.com. Brilliant. Keep your questions coming through. Thank you, Heather, for yours. Brilliant stuff. Lovely. Right. Oh, you've done a little bit more filling in there, I've noticed.
And all I've done is I've filled in this area here. So pick up a little more of the white, and we're just filling in this wedge here with some more snow. That's the blue. I want you to put that down and pick up just some of the titanium.
Oh, just right. Yeah. Just clean enough.
If you notice, this area right in here is more snow, and it brings the face of that mountain towards us a little bit.
So we're just adding the white in now then,
yes.
Is that right? Okay.
So you'll sneak it right in this area and go down to the right again, as we did before. Yep. Great. And now this area here is shadow. So you'll pick up the light blue.
Rightio. And drag away from there,
to the left.
To the left.
To the left. In that triangle you have there, or sort of a pyramid shape. There you go. Yeah.
Bit more?
Bit more right in that yellow area
there,
just to finish it off. And that way the face of this mountain just sort of wraps around and comes towards us. And you can put the knife down and we're ready to press on.
Whew. Right. Okay. Loving this. Loving it. Right.
So this would be a great time to beat the devil out of this brush and clean it the Bob Ross way.
There are so many great phrases.
What I've got here is there's a bucket with the Bob Ross odorless thinner in it, and there's a little screen. You can see the liquid there that comes in the little bottle in the basic set.
Right.
And there's this little screen in the bottom of this can, and all I'm doing is I'm dipping into some of that thinner.
Oh yes, we see, yeah.
And rolling the brush on that screen there. And then down here, we've got the Bob Ross beater rack. Instead of beating it on the easel like Bob did on the show, it makes a big mess. If you're painting in your home, you're not going to be happy if you do that. But he's got this beautifully designed little rack, and I can just beat the brush right on there, and it's clean.
That right.
Want to give that a go?
Nice and easy. Nice and easy to put that. Okay, I'm going to beat the devil out of it. So do I just pop into there first?
Pop into here first. You'll have to tip it a little bit to get to the thinner. There you go.
Is that enough?
That's plenty. Now use that beater rack.
Right.
Beat the devil out of it.
Oh, beat the devil out of it. Oh,
satisfying, isn't it?
It's very satisfying. I feel like I'm following his footsteps on that. Beat the devil out of it. That's great. It's amazing how those phrases, you know, I mentioned on social media that I was going to be, you know, having this show coming up, you know, and so many people got back in touch with it as well, just said, I still love watching him now. I still love what there's certain sayings that people just straight away synonymous with Bob as well that come into it, and they remember these statements, they remember these phrases, which is brilliant, you know.
But you know, I don't think Bob even thought about that. He just talked the way he talked, and they became phrases just by him saying them over and over again.
Yes.
You know, and that was just him. That was Bob.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Right. Okay, Doug. Thank you for that.
So we want to create a little bit of sort of a foothill area to push our mountain back. And we can even do kind of a fun little thing quickly before we do that. Now that the brush is clean, if I just tap down here at the bottom of this mountain, it creates a little bit more of a mist and a fog. Now I don't want to go up too high. That'll destroy all that snow I worked so hard on. I didn't work very hard, really, you saw. And then I just tap and it creates a little bit of haze or a little bit of a fog down there, and I can pull up gently. I can do the same thing over here on the left. And what that does, it picks up a little bit of that liquid white and creates sort of a fog by mixing into that paint.
Ah.
Yep, that's the idea. A little tapping over here. Don't want to overdo. Just a few seconds and you're good. Very nice. So let's get into that foothill. Now, remember we made that purple color earlier. Let's see if you have enough there to go. You might want to make a little more.
Okay.
Just pick up your knife, pick up a little bit more of that blue, the phthalo blue, and a little bit of the alizarin crimson. Mash them together. This is almost as fun as beating the devil out of it. You can just sit here and mix this paint.
It
really feels like you accomplished something.
it's very satisfying. It's great to scrape on and work off, actually. It's, yes, I think.
That's enough. I think that's plenty. So I'm going to pick up that 1-inch brush again. And we'll be using that for these foothill areas.
By the way, this easel is great. The storage space on this is perfect.
It is. Bob designed this table. He designed a place for the thinner bucket, a place for the beater rack. I can lay my palette down here on the bottom. It's wonderful.
It is. I was looking at the videos and saw that it was in there. I was like, that's genius.
He really thought it through.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I'm going to pull both sides of this brush through a little bit of that paint, and then I'll tap. And I'll tap on this side. So I tap, turn it over, tap some more. What that does is it gives a nice even distribution of the paint across the bristles.
Okay.
And I'm going to create the tops of evergreen trees way back here in the distance, and I want these to be real faint. And the way I'll do this is I'll hold the brush back here on the handle like a pencil.
Okay.
And if you look, the ferrule, the gold part of the handle, that's the ferrule, is vertical.
Right.
So straight up and down.
Okay.
And all I do to create those trees is I pull down, and I'm varying the height or the length of these strokes, and see how that looks like evergreen tree tops way back there in the distance. If they start to get too faint, I pick up a little bit more of that lavender purple color, and I'm okay that they're varying tones, varying darks and lights, coming right along the base of this mountain.
Oh, okay.
They can get a little bit taller now, taller, and there we go. We've got a whole row of trees back there, and what that does is it helps to create depth and distance. It pushes our mountain back in, and the color's pretty.
Right.
Go for
okay.
it.
So it's straight on.
Straight on and pull down.
Pull down.
There's one tree. There's another tree. Yep. Keep going.
It's just applying it onto a canvas is you're like, okay, if this goes wrong.
It just seems like it can't be this easy, but it is. And you're going to go all the way across here.
Okay.
Those are looking really good.
Not walk in front of the camera. Sorry about that, Mr. Director.
All the way to the left, all the way to that tape mark there.
Right. Is that okay, Doug? Are we there?
Beautiful. I want you to pick up a little more of that purple, and I want to create some reflections down here underneath these trees. Now, if you see what I'm doing there, I'm just pulling straight down at the base, which is creating a little bit of a reflection there. That's the idea. So it's these trees being reflected down into the water.
Okay.
And the more you do this, the softer and hazier that becomes.
Right.
Try to keep it a little bit level there.
Level, a little straighter, yeah.
I can go gently across just to diffuse some of those reflections. Just real gentle right across, and that just takes them out of focus. Very nice. Now what I do want to do, I want a little bit of a separator there. I'm going to pick up my knife.
You've definitely got a bit more of the nice little reflection going on. Mine's more of a nice happy accident of a general colour, but you know.
I won't lie to you, I've done this painting before, so I wish I could say it was my first time. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the blade now and I'm picking up a little bit of the white. So just picking up the number 5 knife. And I'm just slicing across there to create sort of a water line there that just separates water from trees. So all you do is just run that blade, real fine little bead of paint on there, and you're just going to slice back and forth right at that edge underneath the bottom there. So straight on.
And then just go straight down.
Yeah, just like you're slicing. Just slice. Keep going. Yep. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, I see.
Yep. Makes a little ripple. And this is just the gentle waves lapping against the shore back there.
Oh, okay. It's that just, I suppose, again, isn't it, with anything, you get used to how much goes on.
Yes.
How much
but that's
goes
what
on.
painting teaches you. Each painting you do teaches you a little more, you understand more, and your next painting is better.
Yes.
You know, Bob used to say, if you're ever satisfied with your paints and you think you can't do anything more, then you need to hang it up. The point is, don't be satisfied. Always learn. Always
Right, that's very
always
true.
do more. So you got. See how much better you got there on that left
A
side.
little bit better at the end.
Great.
Just want to let people know, sorry, don't to interrupt for one
No worries.
second. We have got really busy phone line queues at the moment, so I think we're around about 4 minutes queuing at the moment on the phone lines. Thank you so much for your call. We're doing our best to get to your call, obviously. If you can get to the website, then obviously there's no queues on the website, but if you are there on the line, we'll be with you as quickly as we possibly can. It's really busy, of course, as you would expect, so thank you for your patience in advance there. Thank you.
All right, Scott, we're gonna.
Okay.
Here's your bravery test now.
Okay,
You ready
right.
for that? You're gonna lay that knife down
Right.
and you're gonna wipe it off.
Oh,
Sorry,
right, okay,
I should
yep.
explain that. Wipe it off.
Okay.
And I want you to mix up a color. You're gonna pick up the rest of your phthalo blue,
Okay.
the rest of your alizarin crimson,
All of that?
all of it.
Okay.
Plop it down there in that purple spot you got there,
There? In there?
right there.
Right, okay.
And then all of this,
Oh, hello. All
and
this-
about half of the green. That's
Half of
sap
the green.
And we're gonna remember that mixing. We just mash them all together,
Oh, that feels good.
doesn't it? And it'll create a nice, dark, rich color for our trees and our grassy area down at the bottom.
Okay. Wow, that is a lot.
And you don't have to mix it too well. You can just roughly, loosely mix it.
Okay.
All right, here's our bravery test. All
Right.
right. So I'm going to show you how to do a big, tall evergreen tree. Now I've got my 1-inch brush. This is going to take quite a bit of paint. The way I load this brush is I pull both sides through and I wiggle it as I pull it. And what that does is it sharpens that brush to sort of a chiseled edge.
Right,
you couldn't-
okay.
You couldn't shave with it, but it's, you see what I mean.
Right, yes, it points it, doesn't it? Points
Yes.
it, yep.
So I've got this big, tall tree here on the left. Now the way I'm going to start this tree is I'm going to create a little bit of a top to it. And I can even tap all the way down to give me an idea how tall that tree is and where I want it to end. And it'll be about,
All
about
right, you
so.
are. Okay, so you're going above there. I'm just tapping on the side.
Yep. And then just keep going down. Try to keep it somewhat straight up and down. Now every tree isn't straight up and down, but and I'll create another little center line to the tree here on this right-hand side, and then he's got a little friend. Bob always liked to put in little friends so the trees don't get lonely.
We don't want that. Yes, well, so I think I read something like it was 93% of his paintings had trees, and out of them,
Oh, yeah.
91% had another one next to it. Was it something like that, I think?
Rarely a lonely tree, although
No.
he did some that. I can't believe how good you're getting at this.
Oh, I tell you what, here's a tenner. I'll sort that out for you later on.
You're either good or I'm a good teacher.
Yeah, I think it's
Which way is
definitely
it?
you are the good teacher. I'm just getting away with it, I think.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to reload that brush again, and I'm going to create this evergreen tree. I'm holding it back here on the handle. And now I'm holding my ferrule horizontal. I'm using just the corner of that brush to create little branches up here at the top. And as I start to travel down that tree, I zigzag back and forth. I don't have to construct anything. I don't have to design anything or even draw. Just by tapping down with this brush, I'm creating evergreen boughs. It's magical. I cannot believe this works this easy.
Oh, that... Okay, so just show me that one.
I've got 2 more chances
Yeah,
here to
go-
show you.
I'll try, I'll use them both.
So I'm coming over to this tree, and I'm just using this corner, right
corner.
there, the corner of the brush. Touch, that creates a little bough. I want to keep the boughs at the top real small. As I come down, I start zigzagging back and forth. Think of like a Z pattern. And as I tap, see this brush makes those bough shapes, makes this outline
Got you.
silhouette of the tree.
Okay.
Give it a go.
All right, moment of truth, everybody. Here we go. So just the corners to start with.
Very small. Keep it small, keep it small, keep it small. Travel down about 3 or 4 inches. Now start zigzagging back and forth, keep going, keep going. There you go. You got a tree. You're a natural man.
I just heard, once you've done your tree, Scott, and you're happy with your tree, we're going to have to pause. Okay.
That's a wonderful tree.
There's a happy little tree. A happy little Scott with a happy little tree there at the moment. I just have to pause for 1 second, Doug, if that's okay as well. We're really, really busy for the one-day special, really busy. A quarter of the stock has gone, and it's a big stock. So wherever you're watching with this, it's lovely to have your company. If you do want to go for the one-day special, it's the launch. It's the first live hour. We have another live hour, Doug and myself, at 8 p.m. this evening in the UK time. If you want to go for this, it's 345684. It will give you 5 of these brilliant and beautiful 37mm paints, 100mm of the white oil paint that you laid down at the beginning, the palette knife that you're seeing Doug work with, and the brush, and 125mm of the thinner for you. Now this is with a £27 saving, which is phenomenal, meaning it's $39.90. But you can, of course, spread the cost of those payments, 2 payments of just £19.95 as well. Now, on top of that, you're also getting your free gift with purchase. You'll be getting the brush conditioner. That's normally worth $7.95 on its own, and you're getting that free whilst stocks last, just for making a purchase in this hour, of course. So it's a great opportunity to go for that with your one-day special. It's very, very busy. Now, I also want to mention the easel. If you look back at the videos that you would have seen of Bob doing his shows, of course, his 27 minutes when he was doing his painting, you'll notice there's a certain easel that he's using. Now, Bob designed the easel, and it is there, and it really does take everything into consideration. You've got space for the palettes there, you've got the holes for the bucket to work in on that lovely shelf, and you'll see how many times Doug and myself are changing from cleaning the palette knife to changing and taking the excess off of the bristles, cleaning them. That shelf is imperative, and a perfect angle, of course, that you can adjust to work with all of your all of your canvases, of course, for those. Now, a quarter of the stock of those have also now already been allocated. 786141, but with a massive £85 saving, which is huge amounts of money off for you. You can split this, of course, 3 payments of £86.67. 786141 if you'd like to go for those. Right, do you know what? I was amazed. I don't even remember doing those extra trees, so how wonderful is that? But I think Doug's just seen the time and knows we've only got about 5 or 6 minutes left, so thank you very much for doing that. That's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's amazing how quickly it really does start to come together. But just breaking it down to those sections, like you were saying, creating them, you know, where the peaks were to start with, where you're working from the shadow. It's lovely to see how it's broken down. It's great.
Definitely a step-by-step process. Now, all I'm doing here is I'm just putting some highlights on the trees. Trees are predominantly dark. There's a little bit of light that helps to give them shape and form, and I'm using my 1-inch brush. I have that same dark color in it, but when I mix with this cad yellow, it becomes a highlight color, because there's quite a bit of blue in that dark mix.
Right.
And when you add it with the yellow...
Am I getting a bit too much yellow, or did not?
Nope. And you can even pick up a little bit of the sap green too. It's, you know, you have to just play with the color until you get the right one that you want.
Right, right.
And I'm just popping a little bit of light on the top edges of these boughs, just to give these trees some more shape and form, darker, darker, darker as I get to the bottom. I'll go ahead and highlight the other 2. Now, it's that same technique that we used to put the dark on, but now we're using this light. So I'm just using the corner of the brush and just tapping a little on there.
Okay, let's see if I've got enough, or if that's bright enough. Is that okay, that colour?
It's a great colour.
I like you. I like you as well. Leslie has emailed in, by the way. She says, thank you, Leslie, for getting in touch. She says, you've done great, Scott. Thank you very much indeed. She said beans on toast, though, for Leslie, because she's bought loads. So a very happy little painter. Perfect. So we like a bit of beans on toast. It's all right. It's worth it. It's worth it, which is lovely. I was just having a little attempt to try to put some of these on the top of that bit, as you mentioned there. The other thing as well, isn't it, just getting used to the size of the brush. And let's see, mine's... there we go. We've only got about 3 minutes left, actually. And, is that all right, Doug? We've all just got sucked into the painting, which is all right. Which is the fun of it.
But I'll be done in time. You know, you had some paint sets to sell, but
Yeah.
But remember, when you're at home, you can take hours. Bob, in fact, spent hours and hours developing his paintings at home before he went on the show, and then he would practice them to get them faster. I hope I'm not giving away the secrets there, but but no, it is definitely a technique you need to learn, and you can learn. The set definitely helps you with that. There are plenty of really good instructions in there for this exact painting that we're doing.
Right. It's yeah, because yeah, as the original that we were showing on the show as well, there were ones that he was doing before. Obviously, he films, and of course the one that he films, and then the ones that he did added more detail that went to the books and everything.
Yes.
It's amazing the sort of the because it looks so easy, but you don't recognise. Maybe people don't understand the amount of prep work that he did as a professional that he was to make sure that 30 or 27 minutes of footage that went out was the best it possibly could be as well for people that are following on. So, right.
But even though he took hours to do the painting the first time, that was just to get all the really pretty details and everything in there. But I can guarantee he could paint this quickly anytime he wanted to.
Well, he's honestly, it doesn't matter how quick he was as well. His legend certainly does live on in that respect, doesn't it? I was amazed at how many people did know the phrases straight away,
yeah.
you know, that come out there. And,
well, and that's the fun part. That makes painting fun. You don't have to think about, all this perspective or mixed color theory or anything like that. You can just say some fun things and have a fun time with these big old brushes, and you get a painting done in a hurry.
Well, look, you've got a much finer line there, so I'm feeling that you've definitely done this before, but it's certainly coming on. I'm loving this. And do you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you are going for this and to get this, and you watch the videos and it's inspired you, I promise you, if you don't have to have a camera crew with you and going out live across wherever it's being broadcast at the moment. But if you have half the fun that I've had in this last hour, then I know you're going to love this. And if you've always thought about it, go for it. Have a go at doing this. I'm sure you're going to absolutely love it. We have another live hour together, Doug, if you're happy to come back with me at 8
Absolutely.
o'clock. What we're going to be doing and working on is this. So, a very different feel with the landscape on this one again, and there's lots of happy trees in there. But this is what you'll be working with us at 8 o'clock tonight, UK time, 8 p.m. And then Doug is going to take us through step by step again on this for a whole hour, which I can't wait, which I'm a very lucky boy to be part of that. Doug, thank you so much indeed for this hour. Has it been an okay hour for yourself?
I've had a blast.
Oh, good. It's been brilliant. And thank you for all your tips. And 8 o'clock, we'll take more questions on your emails as well, if you've got any for Doug as we go through. So, Doug, can't wait till 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for this last hour. It's absolutely brilliant. And, yeah, please make sure you come back and join us at 8 o'clock for more of those. Anything that's in your basket, please don't forget to get that checked out as well. Get yourself a brew. Don't go anywhere. We've got a fantastic show on the other side of this.